here for Summer House Martha's Vineyard Season 2, Episode 1. I'm very excited about the season. The premiere was great. Great premiere episode for Season 2. If you are new here, which I know, hopefully, if you do jump on this video and you are new. Thumbs up the video. Drop a comment. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Let me know what y'all think about the season. There's a lot of talking points already. I got a lot of notes. And most importantly, subscribe. Subscribe because I'm going to be here all season. I want to talk to y'all all season about this show because it's going to be good. The cast is great. It's great seeing just good-looking Black people on shows, just thriving, just being themselves and putting themselves out here and getting paid off of it. So it's good. I love the cast. We got a new addition who I think is going to be the star of the season, and she's beautiful and got a great personality. She's great. But yeah, I'm ready to get into it. So like I said, thumbs up the video, drop your comments down below, subscribe if you are new, turn the post notifications on because I am going to try and drop these every Sunday. If I can't get it every Sunday, I'm going to try to do it on Monday. But yeah, let's go. All right, so we start with the flashback scene at the beginning. Jasmine's kind of like, she's kind of narrating the previous season, kind of teasing where everybody is right now. They show the flashback to last season. She talks about how Jordan and her have not spoken since last summer, which is interesting because they came into the show last season as friends, like really close friends. So for them to be not on speaking terms, it's interesting. But everybody's making their way to Martha's Vineyard. And Martha's Vineyard, this right here just proves to me I need to get my group of friends and we need to go. Like, Black people in Martha's Vineyard, it's just a vibe. But Bria, she is the first person on the way to the house. She's excited to be back because the house is nice. Like the house that they have this time is it's really nice. The house they had last time was cool, but this one is really nice. And she still got that dog Milo with her. I'm sad old girl's not back. The one that went home mid-season because she shoved Bria, which I got a controversial opinion in regards to that. I don't feel like she should have went home for that. But let me know what y'all thought about that too. But Bria's excited to be back. She likes the house. And Jasmine, she arrives. She arrives without Silas. Praise God. I should have reviewed this last season, but I was not a fan of Silas. I felt like he was super controlling when it came to Jasmine. I did not like his energy at all. But apparently, we'll get to it later on, but apparently he seems to be on a better stride, but we'll see. We'll get to it. But Jasmine and Bria, they hug when they see each other. They last saw each other at Simon's birthday party. And they had got along and squashed whatever little bit of issues they might have had. Jordan and Summer are on the way there, and Summer is pretty much asking if she's talked to Jasmine. And Jordan says she hasn't, and she feels like Jasmine was disingenuous, aka fake, last year. And pretty much kind of pushing people together, and that was weird to her. Talking about how she was doing that with her and Amir and then her and Alex. In the moment, I can see both points. I can see where Jasmine is doing that because essentially she's married. She's newly married. She wants her friends around her to find love. That's natural. But I also see Jordan's perspective because I'm single and I'm okay with being single. Sometimes I'm okay with being single and okay with not wanting to be in a relationship. So I see where she was coming from there too. But Jasmine's talking about how Bria asked Jasmine how her and Silas were. And she says that she tried not to talk about it because she might get emotional. And he ended up getting deployed. So he's going to be in Eastern Europe for 10 months. And she's not going to be able to see him. They're newly married too. I feel like during the time they filmed this, I think it was like their first year of really being married. So for her first year being married and then him to go off for 10 months, that's hard. But Jordan and Summer, they end up getting to the house. Jasmine and Jordan kind of give like this little cordial hug. The girls go around looking around the house. And Jasmine mentions how Summer and Jordan have gotten closer, aka gotten closer and even closer away from her. And Summer's friend Noelle is coming this year. She's the life of the party and she loves to talk. We do know that. She definitely is the life of the party and she definitely loves to talk. And I love it. I love to hear it because I love her energy, but we'll get to her later on. But we get Alex. Alex is in the car on his way and he's pretty much talking to Preston. And Preston's also on his way there. He said he already tipsy. Preston is one of my favorites from last season. Preston's energy I feel like we didn't get enough of him last season, and it seems like this season we might be getting a little bit more of him. So I'm excited about that as well. But Shanice, she arrives and she greets the girls. They're all excited to see her. She's already ready to take shots, of course. Shanice and Bria, they're pretty much talking about getting drunk. And Jasmine, Jordan, and Summer, they're down talking about how Jasmine is no longer drinking. And Jasmine's kind of like in this little dry spell at this point. Like she's trying to not be drinking. We're gonna get to it. But Shanice, especially because we know she's pregnant, like we already know that now. But Shanice is stating that she's going to be at the house full time this year. As we all know, she was working last year, so she would only be there on the weekends. So she's going to be there the entire 2 weeks that they're out there. So Nick and Amir, they are on the way. They're talking about how he and Jordan agreed to move on from whatever little bit of flirting that they had last season, where Amir was kind of trying to see what's up with Jordan, and Jordan was kind of friend zoning him like she ain't really want it. So they cool with that, and they move on from that. So Alex ends up getting to the house. Summer is already irritated, calling him weird. So I'm like, okay, I want to know what's the energy and why is that energy that? And we're gonna get to it, of course. But they have a Summer and Alex flashback, and she says that they would see each other a lot whenever she was in New York, and they would hang out after the show. But that's it. And I'm like, that's cap. If that's the case, why are you so bothered? Something else happened, and we know something else happened. And in that moment, I already knew that she probably caught feelings for him. They probably done fucked, and we're gonna get to it. That's literally what happened, but we're gonna get to it. But Alex walks into the kitchen. He hugs everybody but Summer, and she's sitting there trying to act unbothered, but she is screaming bothered. Like her whole energy, like her whole body language is just giving bothered. But Alex goes looking for the rooms. He sees the leftovers. I forgot to mention that. What's left over, the girls took the best rooms. But what's left over is like this like summer camp vibe type room where it's like bunk beds and shit. The house is big, and then the room was big, but it's just like bunk beds. You got grown ass men that's gonna be sleeping in bunk beds. Crazy. But he comes back up and they ask him if he found anything that he liked condescendingly because they already knew what was left. And he laughs and pretty much asks Summer how she is, and she ignores him. I'm like, okay. So that's the type of energy Summer's on. And Summer looked good in her confessional. Like she looked real good. But this energy is not cute. It's not cute. But in walks Preston, life of the party. Everybody's excited to see him. He talks about how he bonded the most with Jordan. So much now that he calls her his wife. Preston and Alex, they go look at that room. Jordan goes and shows Preston the one empty room that was left. And he goes and runs and grabs his shit super quick and goes and puts his shit in before Alex can see it. But Summer, Preston, Jordan, and Shanice, they all went to Jamaica over the summer, and Jasmine was not invited. And they feel like she might feel some type of way about it. And I'm like, yeah, it seems like y'all going out of y'all's way to have her feeling some type of way about it. Like the energy that, and when I say them, I don't even want to include Preston in that. I feel like the girls, Summer, Jordan, and really Summer and Jordan, Shanice to a certain extent, but really Summer and Jordan. You can tell with their energy in the first like half of the episode, and even at the back end with Jordan, you felt like they want her to feel some type of way. And I didn't like the way they was treating her. I feel like the way that the energy they would give Silas, which was warranted, I feel like they're kind of giving that to Jasmine. And it's like, yeah, Jasmine was doing certain things that could be annoying, but I don't feel like she was doing enough to where y'all feel like y'all should do this to her, and she don't deserve that. But we'll get to it. Amir and Nick, they arrived to the house. Amir and Nick have gotten closer since the show. Alex ends up greeting his boys. Amir talks about how he's got his girlfriend Natalie at home, and they've been together for almost a year now. And he said that if he got here and fucked it up, if I remember correctly, I think he said that she would hang him by his head and cut his penis off. I'm like, that's the wrong thing because she white. Hang him? No. I was like, no, wrong joke, Amir. But Amir likes the bunk beds. He said because he gets to hang with his boys and he don't want it, but he doesn't want to have another Jasmine and Silas situation. If y'all don't remember, I don't know how you don't, because they was fucking every single episode and it was loud. Lord, if I was in that house and I was near, because Amir was like right next door, I'd have been banging on that wall like, y'all need to calm down. But at least wait until I go to sleep because I'm a heavy sleeper. So as long as I can get to sleep and be deep in my sleep, I won't hear nothing. Like it got to the point when I was a kid, my mom would come in and vacuum in my room and I would not hear nothing. That's how deep of a sleeper I am. But there's no toilets down there either. But Preston, Jasmine, and Bria, they go off to the fish market to go get lobster and crabs. My favorite. I love seafood. That's my favorite food. And the food looked good. Like, we'll get to it. But the new girl arrives, Noelle. She's beautiful. 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 The energy she has is beautiful. She's a Southern girl. Like, she's everything. I would approach her like she's the type. She's the type for me. I would definitely try and see what's up with her. But she's cool. Um, Jordan and Summer, they ended up greeting her because that's Summer's friend. Summer ends up saying that she met her through a roommate that she had once dated. And Noelle was there that night when she and old boy was getting it. And they talked for hours and they immediately became friends. So that's how they ended up getting close. But in the next scene, we got Alex talking about how Noelle has this big energy and gives AKA energy. And that's exactly who she is. That's exactly what she is. She did state that she is an AKA. She's fire. Like I said, like she's dope. Amir ends up clocking how the girls wanted the boys downstairs in the bunk beds, which I thought was interesting too, because she could have shared the room. I feel like Summer could have shared that room with Noelle, but Alex then says that it's kind of like a man cave. They can sneak girls down there or whatever. And Amir talks about how he can't wait for his boys to meet Natalie. And Shanice ends up asking Summer and Jordan how they feel about Amir's girl. And Summer says she came off standoffish. And I'm like, that's quite rich coming from you because you kind of been giving off standoffish this season so far. And Shanice was like, we don't want your man. And Shanice says it's funny because the one that you with wanted Jordan. Like, and Jordan's like, yeah, that's the gag. But Jordan said it's water under the bridge. She don't want Amir. I mean, and that was clear. Like, she didn't want him on the season. Why would she want him after the show? So I get where she's coming from there. But she said they left that in Martha's Vineyard last summer, and they've been good. Like, they've been cool. But Summer says the last time that she saw Alex was in New York. We kind of get a little bit of tea in regards to that. She said the last time she saw him was in New York, and he was acting like a fuckboy and wanted to be one. That's what he pretty much told her. I'm like, okay. So if he told you that, you catching feelings, that's on you. That's how I'm thinking about it. But Jasmine, Bria, and Preston, they're driving back, and they're pretty much bonding and stuff. Preston's talking about how everybody had called and texted him when he lost his father. His father passed away, and he really appreciated it. And he said that he hadn't seen his dad since he was in middle school, and his dad tried getting back in his life when he graduated law school. And he said he felt like it was disingenuous, so he was like standoffish, didn't really want anything to do with it. And he said he didn't know about his funeral until he got the Google alert pretty much inviting him to come. And he says a lot of his dad's family excluded him and his sister from everything. He ends up getting emotional, getting choked up in his confessional. And he just said that he just needs the support from his friends, which is why he's happy to be there with him right now. But Jasmine and Bria, they're pretty much comforting him, letting him know like they're down to help him honor his father's passing the next day. Any way that he wants to do it, they're going to do it. But we get back to Jordan, Bria, and Preston getting back to the house with the crabs. Everybody's greeting them. They tell them that the crabs are alive. They're going to have to kill them. Alex and Noelle, they're talking. They're getting to know each other. You can tell right here that they both are mutually attracted to each other. I'm like, this is going to be a story because Noelle and Summer are friends. And Summer and Alex had that history. And you can clearly see that Summer still got lingering feelings that are very, very strong. So if her friend and Alex end up getting together, that's going to be a mess. And I'm going to be sitting here watching it all. I'm going to watch it all. It's going to make great TV. But Bria and Jasmine, they're in there boiling the crab and making the sauce. Alex and Amir go outside, and Amir's like, I don't even know if I trust them with their cooking. If anything, I'm going to order a pizza. The boys and Shanice, they go outside. They're jumping on the trampoline. And Bria ends up asking Noelle if she's single. And she's like, yeah, I am. And I'm ready to mingle. And Jasmine ends up asking, have you peeped anybody? Doing kind of like what she did last season, but a little bit more subtle about it. But she, Noelle ends up mentioning that she saw Alex in Brooklyn before. They never really spoke, but she's always found him attractive. She likes his build. So like I just said, like you can already tell they possibly might try and see what's up. But they talk about Summer's thing with him, and Summer apparently had told Noelle that they just hung out and it's cool or whatever. Like she can do whatever she wants. She don't care. And Shanice says in her confessional, which is what I was thinking, she said if she was Noelle, she would have a deeper conversation with Summer about it. And I'm like, ding, ding, ding. Like she is bothered. So clearly that's something that you don't want to deal with. If you don't want the drama, don't even mess with it. Because she's clearly bothered and she's gonna have a whole issue with it if it happens. But they start getting dressed to go for dinner. And they're gonna have dinner outside in the back of the house. I would have it outside because they got a nice view too. Like they got a nice house this season. They hooked them up. And hopefully they give us a reunion this season because this cast is gold. Like, this gold. But Summer and Jordan, they're talking about how Noelle being interested in Alex. And Summer says that she doesn't care about that man and she can do whatever she wants. I'm like, okay, let's see, Summer. Let's see. But they head on back outside. They have the table set. Noelle says she don't trust everybody's cooking. She said Bria was heavy on the hand with that old babe, but she said she know it's going to be at least well seasoned, which is true. Like, being too heavy on the seasoning, sometimes your food be too salty. And it's like, do I want my food to be too salty or do I want it to not have any seasoning at all? I see where she coming from. She from down south. Like, we like seasoning. We like good shit in our food. But Shanice ends up blessing the food and they start eating. They start chopping the shit. And Nick pretty much asked who cooked the lobster. All the girls essentially did. At some point, Jasmine ends up asking about the pasta that she had made. And Nick said it's good, but it's cold. I'm like, damn, you couldn't have went up there and heated the shit up. But Summer says that she wants Jasmine to start with her not drinking. Like, tell me a little bit about that. And she says the last time that she had drank was 3 months ago at the party. And she says she wants to refocus and get cleaner and have like a dry summer. She says she don't know if she'll continue to do it after it, but we'll see. Bria says unless she's pregnant. I'm like, that's exactly why. But you look at Jasmine's body language when she said it, it was all over her face. If you wasn't watching her and you didn't think it, I would have immediately been like, yeah, you pregnant. Because the way she was acting. But Jordan then talks about how Alex had an event recently where he didn't invite everybody. And he said, I did. She said, no, you didn't. And some people got invited and some people didn't. And Alex had said that he has a community called Feel the Space. It's like a music experience where they hold, like, I guess, concerts or whatever around New York City. And he said it's a community. And if you're subscribed to the subscription list, you'll get the invite. Which with that being his friends, I feel like that's the least you could do to support his business. So you should have gotten the invite. That's my thought process behind it. And Jordan says she wants to know why. And Alex said that he didn't realize that Summer was in New York. And he said he didn't realize that Summer was in New York because he would have invited her. And Summer calls bullshit on that and was like, we was in a group FaceTime that same day and you saw me at Jordan's house and you know Jordan lives in New York. So bullshit there. And Summer says that there's been many a times that she stood up for him to the group because not many people get to see him because he don't really allow people to see him like that. And she said her feelings are hurt. So Bria says that she loves Jordan and Summer, but they went out and didn't invite her to the steakhouse. I'm like, boom, clock it. Because I was like, when Jordan asked that question to Alex, I would have thrown that same question back to her. Like, y'all went out and didn't invite Jasmine. But we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it because he asked it. But that's what Bria had asked about that. And Jordan and Summer both talking and saying that it's because she was at Jordan's house or whatever. And Bria and Summer started low-key getting into it about some party that I guess Bria had that she put an invite in the group chat. And Summer saying that she lived in LA. That's why she wasn't there. But Preston started screaming, what the fuck is going on? And I'm like, exactly. Like, y'all need to chill. But Bria says to Preston, like, if you want me to leave, then she'll leave. And Noelle says, you ain't going to leave because we still eating. Noelle is funny. Like, she had a lot of funny moments in this episode. You can tell she's going to be kind of like the comedic relief that we need. That's going to kind of like bring peace to the house whenever the mess starts. She's going to be the comedic relief that could possibly calm everything down. But Preston says that she can't be talking to him because the way Bria was talking, you can't be talking to me. You must have lost your fucking mind. Is exactly what he said. And he starts hollering. I'm like, damn, Preston, like, calm down a little bit. But he said he's tired of everything being an argument. And I can see why, because Bria was the drama all last season. But Bria said, if you don't want me to be here, I'll leave. And she will. And he said, is that what you, and she said, is that what you want? Is that what you want? Preston said, what you going to do? Cry right now? You going to cry now? he was sitting there antagonizing her. I was like, damn. But Summer gets up and gets Bria up and pretty much tries to take her inside so she can cool down. And they going back and forth, her and Preston, Bria and Preston. And she tells him to tweet about it. He said, I will, and I'm going to enjoy these crap. I was dying. But she goes inside talking shit. Preston says he's exhausted with it. Bria and he talk all day long, every single day. So he don't understand why she's having these issues. But Bria and Summer are upstairs talking. Summer's trying to talk her down. Preston is pretty much saying that they all don't live in the same city. So we can't always support every single event because we're not always here, which is true. But Bria and Summer, they come back down. Bria ends up hugging Preston and telling him that she's sorry. He says the same. Amir ends up grabbing plates to go inside because he's low-key sick and tired of all the bullshit. And he says Bria's the only person that can throw tantrums and come back apologizing and get away with it. But Preston and Bria, they settle everything. And Noelle pretty much is like, she already knowing that they crazy. Like, but she's excited to see what's next. Like, you can tell she's eating it up, low-key. But Summer then brings up how Alex didn't know that she was in New York, but they FaceTimed earlier. She's still on this shit. But Nick says that she just wants to know why. Nick pretty much says what she could have said to him. She just wants to know why you didn't invite her. And she goes, that part. I'm like, why the fuck you couldn't say that? Like, you a grown woman. Use your words. Like, why you couldn't say that? But Amir says, tell him the answer that you want because he's telling you his truth, but you're just not accepting it, which is true. But Summer says that she feels like he's lying. Just say you didn't want them to come. And he didn't invite the person who lives in New York. This is what she's saying. You didn't invite the person that lives in New York. And you also didn't invite the person that you've been inside of. That's the fucking problem. I'm like, boom, there we have it. And that's why you mad. You fucked up, Alex. She's one of them women that you can't just have sex with because she gonna catch feelings. And even though, and we'll get to it. I was about to say it, but we're gonna get to it. Nick, Shanice, and Preston, their faces had me weak. The way they looked whenever she dropped that bomb and Noelle was pouring that drink, the way she just poured that wine bottle. She was just pouring it. That shit was coming through. She's like, damn, I need a drink. Like, she is hilarious. But everybody was shook. Nick and Amir knew it happened. Jasmine, of course, didn't know because they were shunning her. And Alex says, to be honest, he wasn't really paying attention. And he's in his confessional saying that it was kind of wild for you to drop at the table. But he said he's more so upset about the fact, like, what does this have to do with the situation at hand? Like, why do you feel like that has something to do with me not inviting you? But Alex says, if she gonna call that out, put your feet to the fire and say what you did when you did the same thing to somebody else. And she's like, what? And Summer said, have I not invited somebody to someplace? And he's like, he's been to events where she hasn't been. And she's talking about who? And he's pointing at Jasmine. I'm like, exactly. Boom. Put her down there. And Jasmine says she's curious as to why she hasn't been invited to countless things. And she says she feels disconnected because she calls and checks on all the girls, but it has not been reciprocated. And I'm like, damn, they are really doing her raw. I'm like, that's crazy. But Jasmine said a lot of them wouldn't have even known each other if it wasn't for her, which is true. She brought a lot of these people together. But she said seeing everybody hanging out all the time and she's never been invited when she's even been in the city is crazy. And I'm like, yeah, that is crazy. But Amir goes back inside to check on Bria. She's upstairs. She's cool. But Noelle ends up asking where she stands with everybody. Pretty much asking Jasmine, where you stand with everybody. And she pretty much says, like, she's cool with everybody, but her and Jordan are just not as close as they were. And she's not sure why. And Jordan says she's open to having a conversation, but just not in a group setting. I'm like, okay, cool. They wrap it up and head inside. Most of them go and sit in the living room, and Preston's asking Noelle if she's single and ready to mingle. She said if it comes to her, like, it is what it is. And Nick, Jordan, and Summer, they're in there taking pictures. The rest of the crew, they ended up all going off to bed. Summer is in the bathroom talking to Jordan, saying that she feels like Alex's response doesn't make sense. And Jordan says, is there something else? And Summer says she feels like it was. And it's like, yeah, duh, because you're the one that got the issue. You're the one that caught feelings. That's the biggest issue. But the next morning, everybody's getting up, greeting each other in the morning. Alex comes down, greets everybody, tells everybody good morning, including Summer, who is still being weird. I'm like, I wouldn't have been able to deal with her. She's too much. But Silas ends up calling Jasmine and he's asking her how she liked the flowers that he sent her. She liked them, of course. She misses him. She's asking him if he's experiencing FOMO because he's not there this summer. And of course he is. And Silas is happy for her and Jordan to reconnect, apparently, because he wants them to squash it, which we later find out he and Jordan squashed their issue. So it makes sense. But Jasmine said that the two of them actually went back to counseling to kind of relearn each other, which I thought was good. I'm like, good. Maybe he's starting to see, like, you were very controlling last season, and hopefully he's made those changes. I'm not a fan of Silas, wasn't a fan of him, but I want to hope and give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, you was on TV. This is the first time you ever seen yourself on TV. Hopefully you watched it and saw how you were and want to make those changes, because this is your wife. This is your wife. She's not your property. This is your wife. You can't control her. You can't try to control her. What you're supposed to do is love her. That's first and foremost. But hopefully he did make those changes. Apparently they did, so that's good. They're on good terms, and she's pretty much saying, like, she makes mistakes, but when it comes to Jordan, she feels like if Jordan feels like Jasmine is failing her as a friend, Jasmine expects Jordan to tell her. I'm like, exactly. Because if I don't know that I'm doing you wrong, or if I don't know that you feel some type of way about how I am as a friend, if you can't bring it to me, I'm not going to know. And if you are the type that just wants to not say anything and just expect me to, I guess, assume based off of your energy, I'm not going to catch it. Even though I'm the type, I'm speaking as Jasmine, but me, I would catch it. But Jasmine's right. But they all get ready to go out. They all take shots, get in the car. Shanice and Bria pretty much are asking about if Jasmine is pregnant. And Bria says that she asked her and she told her no. But they ended up getting to the dock to get on the boat. Preston lets him know that he's still processing his feelings and his emotions, but he's at peace with his father's passing, and he's excited to be with the group. He doesn't want to cry. He wants to celebrate. So they all get excited. He pops the bottle, starts playing music. They get to twerking, and the speaker that they playing the music on dies. I started dying because that is one of the most annoying things, especially when you're having a party. But Jasmine and Jordan, they end up going up to inside on the boat where they're secluded and start having a conversation. Jasmine brings up how they haven't been on the same page, and she's asking Jordan, like, have I done something wrong? And Jordan says she pulled away because she was mistrusting what she was seeing with Jasmine. And she says she freaked out, but she doesn't know if she can trust Jasmine. And Jasmine says, like, she understands last year was a lot. She was settling into her marriage. It's the first year they were married. But Jordan is a straight shooter, and she kind of needed her to be like, look, this is what it is. And Jordan says she felt like Jasmine wasn't a straight shooter back. And it's just like, you were the one that had the issue with Jasmine. Jasmine didn't have the issue with you, so why would she need to be a straight shooter for you? You're the one that had the issue. You should have told her what your issue was. But Jordan is saying that she felt like Jasmine tried to put on this perfect persona. And Jordan said when she met Jasmine, she had a half-shaved haircut, and that should say it all. I'm like, Jordan, what does that have to do with anything? You feel like because she's more put together now, or at least trying to be more put together now, she's not a good friend anymore? I was like, what? I'm like, what is that correlation? What does that have to do with anything? But especially, we'll get to it. I was about to say something, but we'll get to it. But I was like, that's just weird. But Jordan said, yeah, I wasn't. Not Jordan. Jasmine. Well, Jordan said that she felt like it wasn't authentic. And Jasmine said, yeah, I wasn't. I was just trying to survive. Like, it's my first year through marriage, and I'm just trying to figure it out. And she said, yeah, I could have been a lot more straightforward. And Jasmine is taking accountability. Jordan was not really doing that. Jasmine was doing it, which I was like, damn, like, at least meet her halfway. But Jordan says that she'll say it, but it doesn't seem real. It's talking about Jasmine. And Jordan says that her and Silas had a conversation where they had come to a resolution. And when her and Jasmine did, she didn't answer the text. And she stopped sharing her location with Jasmine. Now that I can kind of see. In a moment, like, because she sent her a nice long paragraph too. It'd be one thing if you didn't respond to a certain text message and it was something like super little. I barely said anything, but if I sent you a long message and you didn't respond to it, I would feel some type of way about it. So in that instance, I see where Jordan's coming from. But Jasmine was like, it's a fucking text message. And then Jasmine said, if you look through my call log of how many times I've called Jordan, it's null and void. Like, you pretty much saying, I just ignored you through the text, but I'm still sitting here calling you. And me, when she said that, I was like, okay, well, I can't be mad at that because I'm not the type of person that likes to text all the time, especially if we having an argument or if the dialogue is super heavy. I don't want to sit here and type all day. So I would rather you call me. So with her calling you and you not answering the phone, everything is null and void now. I don't care. Like, she's trying to talk to you and see what's going on, and you just completely ignoring her. So Jasmine again is right. But Jasmine says that she doesn't feel responsible for the shift that's been going on because Jordan's getting closer to everybody. And she said that's cool and everything, but nobody calls me. Nobody calls and checks up on me. And she said it's not just you. Nobody does. I'm like, damn. I see how she would feel some type of way about it because these are your friends. Like, and like she said, these people you brought together, and it's just like, damn, I brought all y'all together, and now y'all just don't want to fuck with me now. It's just weird. But damn, why did I go all the way back up my notes? But Jasmine says that it feels like Jordan is kind of guarded when she's putting out all this energy. Like, she's kind of like being vulnerable, and Jordan's kind of like this, which I see where she's coming from. But Jasmine ends up asking if they can hug it out. They hug it out. They both don't think they'll go back to being the way that they were, but they're trying to reestablish their friendship, which I think is good. Like, at least try to make something work, which is really going to fall on Jordan's end because Jordan's going to have to let her back in. Like, try and like let that guard down. Try and let her be a good friend to you. But you got to do that too, because like, you was being shady in that confessional, and Jasmine wasn't really shading her at all this season or this episode. And there was moments where Jordan was shading Jasmine. But what else? Alex and Jasmine. Not Jasmine. Alex and Summer. Yeah, my lighting went out, whatever. And I can't find the charger, but I'm gonna finish it this way. But Alex and Summer, they have their conversation, and Summer is pretty much saying that she feels like there's a certain love that you have with somebody that's been inside you. And I'm like, damn, you fucked up. Because you caught feelings, and that's exactly what it is. And Alex said love is a reach. And he said, like, the things that happen between them two are their business, and she shouldn't be telling everybody. And she said, everybody else already knew. And Alex said, because you told everybody. She's like, well, I didn't tell anybody. I told Jordan. I didn't tell everybody, but she did. And Alex says that Nick had called him and asked, like, what you and Summer up to? And he's like, how did you know that me and Summer was together right now? And he said that Nick said that Summer took a pic and sent it to Jordan, and they showed the picture. I'm like, that's weird, because I'd have felt the same way. And Alex said that her taking pictures and sending it to other people is weird because maybe they are on the same page. Like, why are you doing that? And Summer ends up saying that Alex he's made it a point that he does not want a relationship, and he talks about how he's in this fuckboy era. And I'm like, so what are you upset about? Because he told you this. It'd be one thing if he left her in the dark, or at least was selling her a dream about being in a relationship and it switched up on her. And she says, like, yeah, that's why I'm fucking with you right now, because you said that you were a fuckboy. And I'm like, so why are you mad? I'm like, I don't get it. But that was pretty much it for the episode. Loved it. Great premiere. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Drop it down below. I'll be back next Sunday. I'm going to try and drop them every Sunday night. Probably be around 11 o'clock because I do 2 shows on a Sunday. But please thumbs up the video. Drop your comments down below. Subscribe if you are new. And I will see y'all next week. Peace.